Joining us from Washington now is Judy Gross. She is the wife of the American that is imprisoned in Cuba, Alan Gross. Judy, thanks for being with us. I'm sorry you're back with us again, but we want to update our viewers on what's happening. This summer, it appeared that Alan was giving up. Your husband was despondent, not meeting with anyone. What's the latest now?
The latest actually is that that hasn't changed. He is still very despondent. He has refused the last two State Department visits from the State Department in Havana. He's refused their visits. He's refusing visits of anybody other than his attorney, and basically has given up. His demeanor is very, very bad, and he's very fearful that he's not going to come home.
How's his health, Judy? Because I know for a while he wasn't doing so well there.
His health is worse. I think since the last time I talked to you, he's lost another tooth, probably due to malnutrition. The worst thing is he's having trouble. He can't exercise anymore because his hips are so painful that he just can't walk really more than a few feet at a time. So, you know, to be in chronic pain and then not to be able to, he was trying to keep his body in shape and he can't do that anymore. It just makes matters much worse.
What is the State Department saying to you? I mean, are they trying to meet with him?
Well, they did try, but Alan is refusing. What they say to me really is nothing. I really have not heard from the government in quite some time. It's very, very disturbing and disappointing as an American and an American citizen to not feel that your own government can back you up and support you in a situation like this. It's just a terrible feeling. Well,
you know your husband very well. Why will he not meet with them or anyone else?
He is fed up. All of the visits turn into really nothing. Nothing changes. He's angry. He feels that it's a waste of time to meet with them. They never bring him any news. They never have any news or have heard from the U.S. Anything from the Cuba desk at the State Department in Washington. So he figures, you know, why bother anymore?
Well, have you contacted the White House? Have we had any response from President Obama?
We have made numerous contacts with the White House, with the State Department. My attorney contacts government officials constantly, but we have not heard anything from the government.
Why do you think that is, Judy? Is it because this is politically sensitive? We have no relationship with Cuba, so it's like, what can we do? Is that the attitude?
I think part of it, and because I've heard this said, and this is really shameful, is that because Alan was not working for the U.S. government, he was working on a U.S. government contract, that they might not be as interested in working to get him out. If that's the case, that to me is just unjust. It's unjustifiable. I really don't know why Alan is different.
Generally, Cuba would probably want something in exchange for releasing your husband. After all, they've released other prisoners. I was a friend of one that was released many years ago, early. He had a 20-year sentence, was released after 17 or 18 months. So obviously Cuba wants something. What do you think they want in exchange?
What I think they need is to sit down and talk to the U.S. so the U.S. and Cuba can figure what that is. You know, everybody will guess that it's the Cuban three. But I don't know that for sure. It's a very complicated matter. But what I do know is that unless the U.S. government makes a huge effort with the Cuban government, that nothing's going to happen.
Bring us up to date on the petition.
The last I heard, we had close to the 10,000 signatures that we need. that when you get 10,000 petitions at the White House, what that means is that it goes directly to the president so he can actually see and read the petition.
And so you say you're very close to the 10,000. Do you think you'll get that soon? And then what happens?
I do think we'll get that soon. And once we get that, it will be delivered to the White House. What happens after that? You know, I keep my fingers crossed. I'll hope that we'll get some time and some attention from the White House.
Well, it sure would be nice to see your husband home for this year's Hanukkah celebration. Tell us, what can people do other than the petition?
They can still urge their congressmen, senators to contact the president, to bring it up on, well, I know this is midterm election, so it would be very difficult, but to bring it up on the floor, to encourage their lawmakers to ask, why is Alan Gross still in prison?
And Judy, how can we pray for you and Alan? Our viewers are praying people.
Well, I think everybody has their own individual way of praying, so whatever that is, we need all the prayers we can get. You know, I feel the prayers. I bump into people all the time and they say, we're praying for you, and it means a lot. It really does mean a lot.
Okay, we will be praying that your husband will have his spirits lifted and be encouraged, and that he'll be home with you soon. So thank you for joining with us. I think hopefully next time we'll have better news. God bless.
Thanks so much.